Hi, this is Dr. C. It's week 8, and I thought I'd jump back in with the recording and tell you what my impressions of where we've been are and take a look at where we're going. So I am going to do just that with you now. So the last time I communicated via a video was week 3. Since then, we've worked on these areas. Key concepts of technical communication, really important. This is when you learned about writing for an audience rather than yourself, writing for a specific purpose because your audience is busy and your audience wants to hear why you're writing and what your purpose, your communication purpose is right off the bat. Also, the context of use is something that you always want to consider when you're writing how your document is going to be used. For example, the baristas would be using the quick reference guides as they are multitasking in a sometimes stressful environment, and so that was a context of use that helped you determine how to set up that quick reference guide. And you also worked with the needs assessment template, which is immensely helpful now and in the future for focusing on the key elements of that rhetorical context. Then in week 4, we worked on the quick reference guide in terms of its visual format. And you learned about things like visual consistency and balance, and emphasis and cohesion with headings. You did another needs assessment for that assignment, and that helped focus your work for your particular audience. And then we looked at that nifty little tool that gave us a whole bunch of different examples for visualizing information, and I hope that will be useful to you as well in the future. In week 5, we worked with plain language, and that is language that is simple, direct, to the point, uses pronouns to speak to an audience directly, such as you. You are the student who is doing a terrific job. That kind of direct approach. And you revise some wordy, difficult sentences, and then you use that plain language in writing your technical description and technical instruction. In week 6, information literacy, specifically web-based, and judging from the variety of opinions as to whether the website that I sent you to was bogus or not. Some of us need to work on information literacy, so we are more critical when we're looking at websites. And then again, going back to that important rhetorical situation analysis, the introduction, the 6 elements of a good introduction, and how important that it will always be that you tell your reader why you're writing to him or her, what you want the reader to do, and what the organization of the contents of the memo or whatever genre it is that you are writing in, how the remainder of that document is developed. Then in week 7, we went further with information literacy and began to use online databases for research. And you worked with Zotero, a nifty tool in Firefox that helps create a really good research database for you. And you've been adding your entries to the database, and you'll find that Zotero is very easy in actually creating your bibliography, while you will still have to create the annotations. After reading the articles themselves, the bibliography referencing will be already set up for you. Okay, where we are now. Well, we're kind of at a standstill. I owe you feedback on assignments 5 and 6, and you owe me assignment 7. So what should we do? Well, from my point of view, here's what I've done. I've started blocking submissions on assignments that are a week or 2 overdue. It takes me twice as long to go back and grade late assignments because I have to go figure out, remember the situation in which I asked you to write and what the context is, and then set up a whole system for providing that feedback. And so it takes me too long. And I know we're all busy and we all have incredibly hectic lives, but you've got to put this into these assignments into your agenda, on your calendar, however you manage your time, and get these in somewhat on time. I mean, I'm not saying the day after I'm going to block the assignment, but in the same week. I'm grading as we speak. I'm getting out that feedback to you. You'll find that the website evaluation memo is one that I take a great deal of time with and provide feedback to you. And that's a really good indicator of where you are in the course. And I'll talk about that in a second. I changed out some forums for added interest. I've added a new forum on Twitter and a new exercise that we'll do on Twitter because I want you to become proficient in that. Now, what you need to do is to complete assignment 7 this week. You need to check your grades and see if you're missing any assignments. Go through the My Grades feature of Moodle and look at your assignments and what you're missing. Also look at your grades. You can project what your final grade will be based on what you've been doing so far. One student asked for mid-semester feedback. Well, when I return your DHMO memo, that should give you a pretty good idea of where you are in this course and what you need to do to either pass or excel. So you should also be mindful of the withdrawal deadline that is looming on March 28th. You have to physically withdraw from a course. If you do not, and you do no longer participate, you'll end up with an F on in your GPA. So what's ahead? We've got lots of interesting assignments coming up and skills. So after the break, we're going to be moving into the portfolio building, and this is a difficult part of the course, but exciting because you're going to end up with a great product that you can take with you and use wherever you go. You'll have a wonderful professional portfolio. So in moving forward, first we'll have the break, which will give us all a needed break from trying to juggle all of our many activities in our life. And I hope you'll come back with renewed vigor. And we'll be starting a heuristic evaluation, a usability test of a website. This too will be a skill building exercise that will give you a method for reviewing and analyzing websites forever. This particular heuristic we're going to be using has stood the test of time for 20 years, so it will continue to stand the test of time, I'm sure. Then we look at Visio and start diagramming your website, the portfolio, and start adding content and visual design for your e-portfolio. And finally, you'll learn how to use Camtasia and record a presentation that walks us through your e-portfolio. Okay, so that's it. I am hopeful that you are all enjoying this course. At this time, I'd really like to see all of your faces and see what's going on. I've asked for your feedback in this week's discussion, and I hope you'll give that to me honestly so I can make some changes now if things aren't working, or tell me what is working. So I am looking forward to reading what you have to say, and as students will tell you, I always pay attention to what students tell me about what's working and isn't working. I try very hard to make this a course that is valuable to you and to your career building. So that's it for now. See you in Moodle.